it's their side, it's the Democrats. It's almost like they want something to happen. And it sounds crazy, but they keep doing it, and you have to start wondering if that's intentional, that they're inflaming all this. I've seen just everyday people that would never even mention something like civil war. They're concerned about it. They're worried about it. They all feel the tension now that's being created by the governor and the leadership in the Democrat Party over guns. We are not giving up our guns in Virginia. And if they continue to push that, they're the ones pushing on something. They're the ones poking a bear. They should just leave it alone. Law-abiding citizens don't need to be poked. And they're doing it, and they need to stop it.
We're seeing threats of violence. We're seeing threats of armed confrontation, out-of-state militia groups, and hate groups planning to travel from across the country to disrupt our democratic process with acts of violence.
My name is Philip Van Cleve. I'm the president of the Virginia Citizens Defense League. It's a gun rights organization that lobbies to protect the rights of gun owners in Virginia. We're a watchdog. If a locality tries to pass an illegal gun ban, we will stop it. And we educate our members. Our members really know what they need to know about guns, the laws, and so forth. Our membership, it looks like it's about tripled in about 6 weeks because of what the governor has done, basically declaring war on gun owners. That has woken up gun owners across the state. We now have, we went up 10,000 people on our free email alert, where people go to learn what's going on in Virginia with gun rights. On universal background checks, we're completely against it. Very few actual criminals are stopped by background checks. They don't go through background checks. They either get a straw purchaser to buy it for them, or they get the guns off the street, they steal them, whatever. So universal background check just leads to universal gun registration because that's how they would enforce the background check. So we just totally oppose it. The ban on any type of firearm we're against, especially in a quote-unquote assault rifle, which is exactly the kind of gun our founding fathers would expect us to own. The rifles are rarely ever used in crime. South suppressors, the use of those in a crime is extremely rare. They make the gun awfully big, and criminals just don't tend to use them. Also, they don't make it silent. You still know a gun went off. It's just it lowers it to where at least it won't damage your hearing.
They are not coming to peacefully protest. They are coming to intimidate and to cause harm. State intelligence analysts have identified threats and violent rhetoric similar to what has been seen before other major events, such as Charlottesville.
Number one, they've not shared any of that with us. We don't know of any credible threat. Now, they may, but they're not sharing it. And what happened in Charlottesville was a failure of the government. The police were told to stand down by the governor back then of McAuliffe and the Charlottesville mayor. And they let these two groups merge, and they had a big mess. This is a very different scenario than that. And I've gotten firm statements from all the police agencies involved that nothing like that's going to happen this time around. They will be there, and they will be working security, and they're not going to allow anybody to start any trouble. They'll arrest them. No. First of all, they never offer middle ground. They always want to take away all of something, and then they'll give you back half. They never give anything. They've never come to us and say, well, what if we allow you to carry, in K through 12 schools with a permit, like they do in Utah and a whole bunch of other states, and in turn we ask for this. They don't do that. So there's no negotiating with them, and we certainly are not going to give away our right to own AR-15s, for example, or the next generations. Grandfathering won't work either. We're done with compromise. The only thing we'll work with them on at this point is laws that go after criminals. We're fine with that, or mental health. That's all good. Well, on Monday, we're expecting up to 100,000 or so people to show up, and a probably about 1,000 of those will go in and lobby the legislators in teams that we organize. We do this every year. They go in teams, and they each see different legislators. Then we'll have our rally. We got a lot of great speakers, including one that stopped a mass shooting in Texas with an AR-15. That's what saved a bunch of lives, an armed citizen with a rifle. We're hoping it will be peaceful. The police are in charge of security. We're not doing security. We share anything that looks like a threat with the police. And they've got all the police agencies are talking together. They have something that fuses together all these agencies dealing with this event. And so, as long as they do their job, I expect it will be peaceful.